All right, we're talking about something crazy amazing today on the Denial of the Day podcast. Chris, you're here somewhere. Where are you today and what are we talking about?
I'm in the back cave again, doing what I do, trying to respond to insurance adjusters,
In a
checking this
timely
claims code.
fashion while you're hanging
Absolutely,
upside down in the Batcave.
absolutely.
Well, you actually bring up one of the reasons that we're going to talk about doing what you're going to talk about because
Mhm.
adjusters don't respond in time, the claim starts taking a long time, things aren't going the way you want, the insurance company's not doing their job, and all of this is dictated based on the policy, but what is it exactly?
Yeah, so basically, there comes a point, and every situation is different, but there comes a point where a complaint should be filed, in our opinion.
Yep.
And us as public adjusters, we'll do the same thing when we're working on a claim. If it gets to a certain point where we've banged on every single door and we're not getting the results that we feel like this should be there, then we're going to escalate this. We're going to take it to
Right.
the next step.
So, yes, escalating it to a point where you file a complaint against your insurance company is what Chris is talking about because
Mhm.
they're not doing their job. They're not responding in time. Sometimes it'll take a month. Like, why haven't I heard from you in a month? Oh, well, because of this. Well, because of that. All right, strike one. Right. And then the process continues. And are you making progress? No, we haven't had any communication or anything updated on the estimate for 2 months. Strike two. Right. It's not something
Mhm.
that you do willy nilly and just like, oh, let's file a complaint. Let's file a complaint. Because
Yeah.
you have to be the squeaky wheel, but you have to squeak properly. And the boy who cried wolf doesn't get anything. And so if
Yeah.
you do it in a way that is because you're just angry, but because the insurance company hasn't done something or hasn't fulfilled their obligations, and there's a big difference between those two things. If you continually see the insurance company's not doing their job or is violating the Unfair Claims Settlement Practices Act or misrepresenting the policy or misrepresenting the facts, a
Mhm.
bunch of these things add up to the point where Chris is then like, hey man, we've been working on this for 4 months. The adjuster has only called me twice. He sent
Mhm.
out somebody that didn't have the authority. And those kind of strikes against them stack up to the point where we're like, oh, okay, now is the time to file a complaint and let's see what happens. So, how does that work, Chris?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, first off, where you file the complaint is important. So, obviously, state of Colorado, it's going to be with Dora.
Right.
And
Different, but it's usually like some version of the Department of Insurance.
sure, exactly,
Right.
exactly. But the biggest thing you want to do when you're filing a complaint is you try to keep emotions out of it and keep it all factual.
Yes.
Again, going back to Taylor's point, you don't want to be the boy that cries wolf, but you want to keep it very, very professional and factual because they're going to respond probably 10 times better than that versus someone that's just complaining that, hey, this isn't moving anywhere. Well, what are the facts? People
Yes.
tend to jump
Exactly.
on the facts a lot faster than the emotions. So,
Right. So just know that the Department of Insurance gets a lot of complaints because it's you plus millions of people that
mm,
also are angry at their insurance company. But if you do what Chris says and keep it factual and less emotional, take out the emotions from that complaint and be very factual. This happened on this date. I made a call on this date. I spoke with this person on this date. And
mhm,
you have all those facts. And that's something that we do in our office. We have a CRM that tracks all that. Chris takes notes, puts it into that system. So every single call is logged. Every single phone call is then reiterated. Most of the time, Chris will have a phone call, take the notes, and send that to the adjuster. Hey, just so we're on the same page, we spoke about this, this, and this is what you're going to do next. This is what we're going to do next, and we'll reconvene next Friday at 4 p.m., whatever it is, right? And so being very factual versus emotional is a huge part of this because understand that the insurance department of insurance gets a ton of complaints, and
mhm.
you being factual versus emotional pushes you to the top of that line because they then don't have to, well, that's BS, that's emotional, they're angry, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you're angry. We get it because that's the reason you're filing a complaint. So that's
Yeah.
already kind of the basis of the complaint being filed against your
Mhm,
insurance company, but then be factual about what has occurred and then also what resolution you want specifically.
mhm.
That is one of the most important things. This is what's occurring. Great. I hate my insurance company. Fine. That doesn't do anything for you. But if you're like, hey, this is what has occurred. Here are the facts of the situation. This is what we feel like they should have done and they didn't do. this is what I want as a resolution. It makes a huge
Mhm.
difference. We recommend that you do that. Chris, is there anything else? I know this video could be a 20-minute long video, and
Yeah.
maybe this is something that we'll put in our Win Your Claim library, but
Mhm.
ultimately, is there anything else that needs to be done?
Yeah, I think what you want to also stay away from too when you're actually going down that route is be careful not to even, you don't want to threaten the insurance company that, hey, I'm going to seek an attorney, or hey,
Right,
I'm going to go this route,
right.
because they hear that all the time. Like I said,
I
and
do.
honestly, if for some reason your claim has to go down that road, every situation is different, but if it has to go down that road, you got to be careful too what you put in writing. And so
Right,
we always just recommend keeping it factual.
right. And
Again,
so,
no threats, no nothing.
perfect. And to your point regarding the, hey, we're gonna hire an attorney. If you threaten a lawsuit, then the rules change. Most people
Yes.
don't know that. And Chris, put that down as actually a video that we can create in the future. That people need to understand when you threaten a lawsuit, the insurance company can then just put up walls because
Mhm.
they're in anticipation of litigation and
Yeah.
things change. So don't threaten that because it actually helps your insurance company. So be aware of that. But to wrap this up in a nice, pretty little bow, be factual, get to the point where it actually makes sense to file a
Mhm.
claim. There's people that we know that we've talked to. Oh, I filed 3 complaints. That's not a claim we want to get involved in, right? We want
Yeah.
someone that actually understands what this process and system is designed for, and it needs to be escalated internally at the insurance company, and then filing a complaint against your insurance company is the last resort. Chris, final word, my friend.
Final word, get us involved. If you're feeling about filing a complaint, let us take a look at it. We might have different strategies, whatever. So reach out to bellatorclaims.com.
That's right. We're the experts. We can help. Let us take a look, see how we can help you.